Lesson 15, Oracle Database ExaData Cloud Service Overview. And this lesson is not a RAG-related topic, but this lesson to introduce one of the cloud services available in Oracle environment. So Oracle Database ExaData Cloud Service Overview. Think about that in your environment. If you want to build a RAG system for development, for example, or for testing environment, so how long does it take? And also, what are the considerations? And also, if you want to build RAG system for production database, and what are the considerations? And how long does it take? And there are many things what we have to consider. Okay, if this were a production environment, and we will have to design RAG system properly to eliminate or to minimize potential I/O bottleneck, and supporting enough the throughput to run your application optimally. And also, if this were testing and dev environment, we should be able to provision development and testing environment as quickly as possible based on what you need with a minimal admin intervention. But in reality, it's quite difficult to get testing and dev environment within a short amount of time, and also it takes a little bit. It takes a long amount of time to build a good RAG system at the design phase. Considering all different aspects of the components. So you can actually consider in that case you can consider ExaData Cloud Service in that case, because in Oracle public cloud environment you can build your testing or dev environment or even prod environment in the fastest cloud platform. Okay, especially you can build your database environment on ExaData database machine. And ExaData database machine is Oracle's Oracle database engineer system. It was designed to run Oracle database optimally, and we have an ExaData platform in the cloud environment, so user can access to our environment through the cloud service console through a web page, and then user can provision any resources of what they need. So you can request RAG database creation in ExaData Cloud Service, and you can easily scale up and scale down and dynamically. And also, ExaData Cloud Service provides a platform that supports mixed workload, not only OLTP workload, but also data warehousing workload and analytic workload. So we will get into architecture and capabilities of ExaData in the high level, and also we will see compare and contrast between ExaData Cloud Service and on-premise ExaData implementation. And Oracle ExaData database machine is Oracle's engineer system, and it has many of a components that give you a perfect and optimal performance of a database. And we can use it. You can use various ExaData features to improve OLTP type of a workload. For example, you can take advantage of a flash memory to improve response time sensitive queries by reading data directly from flash memory. And also, you can also take advantage of I/O intensive operation, because ExaData can handle large amount of I/Os in advance in the storage level, and also it's possible to filter in the storage before returning back to compute node. So that's why that way we can manage resources in optimal network resources optimally, and that gives you better performance as well. And what about analytic workload? It's possible to configure an in-memory column store in the compute node, and even in the storage level, there is a cell level columnar format the memory is available. So we can take advantage of all these ExaData features and all database features enabled in ExaData. And also your ExaData runs in the cloud environment. And you request your resource to run your database and to run your resource on this ExaDatabase environment in the cloud environment. So that's actually the ExaData in cloud. And also, instead of getting entire engineered system in your environment, you can just simply purchase a monthly subscription. Okay, so you only pay for based on resource used. And this is actually a possible configuration. So when you create ExaData Cloud Service instance, you have an option to create quarter-rack. So that's the smallest configuration. And as time goes on, if you need a more resource, you can also upgrade your configuration to half rack and full rack, and you can get this much the benefit. So you can review the IOPS reference and also throughput reference here. And also number of database servers is 2, 4, 8, depending on your service configuration. And also number of storage servers are 3, 6, and 12. How to connect ExaData Cloud Service? You can connect ExaData Cloud Service through different networks. You can use a client network, so that's for the client. So by using Oracle Net Service, the client can access to ExaData Cloud Service. And also, we as an administrator, we can also use an admin network to connect to ExaData Cloud Service using SSH and to manage the software component. And also, in the ExaData Cloud environment, we can also configure firewall. Okay, which port do you want to activate and which port do you want to disable to allow which connection. So that's also what you can control. And also, in addition to ExaData Cloud Service instance, you can also take advantage of additional cloud services as well, like a backup service and also storage cloud service and so on. And this is service architecture, and this is smallest service configuration, and this is a quarter-rack ExaData Cloud instance configuration. It comes with 2 database servers and 3 ExaData storage servers. All database servers and storage servers are interconnected by using InfiniBand network. And database server has 3 separate networks: admin, client, and also backup network. Client doesn't have a direct access to underlying storage. The client only can leverage storage configured in the underlying storage server. And also service availability. ExaData Cloud Service inherit the HA capabilities. All hardware component of ExaData they provide the redundancy. For example, you have 2 database servers, even in minimum, the smallest the size of a service configuration, and also 3 ExaData storage servers, and InfiniBand network is active InfiniBand network, and InfiniBand switches. We use the 2 leaf switches in ExaData environment, and there are 2 power supplies, redundant power distribution unit. And software-wise, rack provide the multiple instances that avoid a single point failure, even in case of a server crash. And also, your underlying ExaData storage server also configured with the ASM software solution. So ASM provides a mirroring and storage striping a feature, so your data will be protected from single and double failures. And we can also use flashback technology. And we use flashback technology to recover database from logical failure as well. So that's our ExaData service in a cloud environment. In the cloud environment, when you create ExaData Cloud Service instance, behind the scene, DOM U is created. If you have an Oracle VM for x86 the skill set, and you probably know what is the meaning of a DOM U. The DOM U is a non-privileged domain. So that's your database domain, okay? So in the database domain, clusterware is installed, and ASM is installed, and database software is installed, and operating system is installed, and also Oracle cloud tools installed. So we as we as a customer, we will manage only those components. But infrastructure outside of a DOM U, for example, ILAM access to storage server and compute node, and also management of a database server DOM 0, which is a privileged domain, and host channel adapter, InfiniBand switches, and firmware, other hardware component. All these are managed by Oracle. So you only manage your database environment, okay? And when you look at storage configuration, this storage configuration is slightly different from on-prem ExaData configuration. So we have data ASM disk group for your production database by default, and we use high redundancy. And Rico, it is for backup with a high redundancy. And DBFS, it is to store OCR and floating disk file, and ACFS to contain Oracle database binaries and patch files. So these are configurations of ASM disk groups in the cloud environment, ExaData cloud environment. And also space allocation configuration. So we have two possible space allocation options. One is when you create backup to the ExaData cloud, then your physical disk is divided 40% for data, 60% for Rico. And also, if you create backup the outside of ExaData, then your physical disk will be divided into two pieces. 80% of space will be used for data, and 20% for Rico. And we have the storage configuration based on service configuration options. And storage management details. Storage is pre-configured and allocated to ASM disk group. So you don't manage ASM disk group in the cloud environment. And customer manages objects inside ASM. And Oracle manages ExaData storage, including ExaData storage server software update. And ExaData storage servers are configured using best practices. So we, as the customer, we don't touch the hardware itself. So customers do not have access to ExaData storage server. But customer can enable IORM. Okay, so through Service Console, you have an option to create, plan, and also you can configure IO resource management. And this is the Service Console, and you can actually create instance. You provide the instance name, and what is your plan, what is the size of a rack that you want to request, and how many CPUs you want to use, and also where do you want to create a backup of your initial starter database. So you can provide all information what you need. And after you create quarter rack environment in the cloud, Oracle ExaData Cloud, and you will see two instances, two virtual machines. This will be actually your database environment in ExaData. So you can control by using Service Console. You can restart, you can stop, you can start, and you can also view all additional information. So you can make connection over Oracle Net Service, or you can make connection to this environment using SSH. And you can also use a REST API. Instead of using a web browser, you can use a REST API to request what you need or to pull out information what you need. So you can use a REST API to create, to delete database deployment. You can stop and start and restart database VM. And also you can view information. So you can add REST API in your application to directly control your ExaData cloud instance through your application as well. And migrating to ExaData cloud service. You can migrate your database to ExaData cloud environment. And because the Oracle cloud environment, we use the same database architecture, same software stack, same skills. So it's easy to migrate from on-prem environment to Oracle cloud environment. Okay, so based on your source database, you can actually choose a different migration strategy, and you can use a logical migration option if you have a source database that is running on non-Linux environment. Okay, so conversion is needed. So you may want to use just logical import and logical export and import. And also you want to use online migration by using Oracle Golden Gate. Or you can use a physical migration if a source and destination database versions are same and platforms are same. You can simply create a physical standby database in the Oracle public cloud and switch over. Or you can use a transportable table space, or you can create data guard and switch over. So there are many different options available. So you can choose one of the options that is applicable to your environment and your requirement. And this is a brief introduction to Oracle Database ExaData Cloud Service in Lesson 15.